Hey guys, Mr. Burns here. So here's our plans for today. If you've opened the video in Schoology, you should also see that there is an assignment that's due today, and it's the statistical test of the data related to sickle cell anemia. In this case, we're just isolating sickle cell anemia. We'll go back to some of the diagrams about the relationship between sickle cell anemia and the occurrence of malaria in a bit. But for now, we're going to do some statistical tests. So you'll open this document. It's going to look like this. It's going to look a lot like the second data observation we did with this data table and a figure that shows different regions. The instructions are to do some statistical analysis. So we're going to begin by creating a data table. You're going to be isolating only those individuals who are either normal, have the sickle cell trait, or the sickle cell disease. And then you're going to use that table to record the total number in each of the three categories in the mid-north. So we'll look at the mid-north, mid-northern, and we're going to record the number of people that are normal, the number of people that have the sickle cell trait, and the number of people that have sickle cell disease. We're going to skip the variant. You're going to repeat that for the Southwest, and then you're going to do that for the all category. Once you've done that, you're going to include percentages for the data that you have isolated. Now, you got to be careful here because the percentages are going to be different. If you're looking at the mid-northern data here, it's saying 78.6% of the population is normal, right? But that includes 127 people in the variant group that you're not going to include. So you're going to need to add up all of these people and figure out what percent of this group is normal and what percent of this group has the sickle cell trait and so on. So you're going to need to update those percentages as well. And then once you've done that, you're going to test two different null hypotheses. That means you're going to do a chi-squared. And you're testing these hypotheses. First, that there is no difference between the number of between the expected number of individuals. I'm editing as I go. The expected number of individuals in each category, normal, trait, disease, and the observed number of individuals in the mid-north. So you might say, well, what am I expecting to see? Like the observed data is right there. That is your observed data. You'll change the percentages a little bit, but that's what you observed. Your expected data is going to come from your all category. So whatever your final percentages are for the all category, that's what you'd expect to find. You're going to apply those expected percentages to the number of people that they counted in the mid-north. Okay, the number of people that they studied, and figure out how many you would have expected to find if the population in the mid-north reflected the population overall. Okay, and you're testing the idea that there's no difference between overall population, which obviously is made up of a lot more people studied, 83,000 here versus only 10,000 here. The difference, though, between the expected for this population and what you actually get. And you're going to either accept or reject the null. And once you've done that, you're going to be asked to write a little bit about what that might mean that you've accepted or rejected the null hypothesis. And then you're going to repeat that same process for the southwestern population, again, comparing it to the all category. All right. And then once you've done with that, there's going to be some questions down here, which I still need to add in, asking you to reflect on what the chi-squared test tells you about what's going on in that population relative to the trait of being normal, the trait of carrying the sickle cell trait, or the trait of having sickle cell disease. All right, those statistical tests should get done in class today. Good luck, and we'll come back to this again next week.